designing crisis. So I looked at the, the moment that we're in, which is an economic crisis in Europe, and how the role of design is and will change according to this new reality that we're living in. I think it's important for designers to address issues which are really contemporary and which are affecting the way that we live in large ways, be that in technology or society, politics, economy. And for me, I found that crisis was something which really echoed around all of these different fields. Admittedly, it was kind of a huge topic that was very difficult to attack because, yeah, it kind of exists everywhere and nowhere. Well, I decided to look at sites of crisis. So they're places where crisis becomes apparent because it's this kind of whole thing that we're told about, or maybe it changes the value of our money, or it means that some people will lose their jobs, but it's very difficult to kind of pin down or even say that there's one place where it started or one place where it might end. In fact, this is probably maybe the start of a new reality. So I wanted to find places where you could actually say, okay, something is happening here which is tangible that I can see. I started by doing a lot of research about what was being said and what was understood, and then I tried to actually work out what was actually happening. So I kind of compared either hearsay or opinion with a fact and kind of cross-check between those two things. And then I think within that gap of a reality and an understanding or an emotional kind of reaction to these situations, then you can kind of see where the designer's role can be to either make the situation clear or to propose things according to people's reactions on the real, what is really happening. Firstly, I think design was based in industry, which in some ways we made a lot of things, which created this thirst for new things and consumption, all this kind of stuff, which has accelerated us to the point where we're now in crisis. So we kind of have this guilt or this responsibility or this history. And going forward, I think designers can rethink these systems outside of the perception of what people can currently think about. But the problem that I have is that designers often, people call upon designers for solutions, because, and I think that is, solutions are based on certain values which determine whether a solution is economically viable or culturally viable, or I don't know, all of these kind of things, even with time. And so I think in order for a designer to really step outside what the crisis which is occurring, which is also as a result of the values that have been built in that system, that they need to look past those values to kind of create new systems which are based on new values, and therefore you maybe lose the connection with solutionism. So you're really not looking at necessarily this is the problem and I'll fix it with this, but more this is the problem and these values inform this problem. Why are these values in place? What are the current values and how could they look at a new system? And then I think in terms of this, there's two ideas in terms of these solutions. Either the things that you propose might be new ideas based on new values, for instance, or designers could also create a situation which means that the audience or the viewer or the user, or whatever you want to call them, the person, let's call them a person, has to make a decision by themselves or address their own opinion on this matter.